The electronic features in the Cummins engine also control when the engine brake can be activated. Using the engine brake instead of or along with the service brake provides more braking power. It also reduces wear on the service brakes. In severe braking conditions, the engine brake minimizes the chance of service brakes overheating and brake fade. It also reduces cycling of the air compressor for service brakes. In the Cummins ISX15, the engine compression brake is designed in as an integral part of the engine. This INTA-brake develops up to 600 braking horsepower. The engine compression brake is optional in other models. Cummins is the only engine manufacturer to offer an integrated engine brake. As the driver releases the accelerator in order to slow down, the wheels of the vehicle continue to turn the drivetrain. This forces the engine pistons up and down, compressing the air inside the cylinders. Normally, the compressed air would create a downward force on the piston. However, when activated, the engine compression brake opens the exhaust valve just before the piston reaches the top of the compression stroke. When that happens, the valve absorbs and releases the pent-up energy. The way the engine brake works is programmable using the electronic control module. For example, in order to reduce engine braking in city driving, your fleet might specify that engine braking is not available below 35 miles per hour. That way you won't hear the engine brake noise and are more likely to comply with local noise ordinances. Another setting allows the cruise control feature to activate the engine brake should road speed exceed the cruise control limit, for example, coming down a hill. Depending on the model of engine, another setting specifies exactly when the engine brake is activated, for example, by just taking your foot off the accelerator or by pressing the service brake pedal. Use the switch in the cab to turn the engine brake feature on and off. Use another switch to set the level of engine braking power to either low or high. And know how your engine brake is configured so that you know what to expect in terms of the way it works. While engine braking may offer a number of benefits, probably the best way to add fuel economy in braking is to anticipate the traffic ahead of you and to try to avoid sudden stops and slowdowns. The most efficient operators minimize the number of sudden decelerations and the number of times they use the service brakes. Time for a knowledge check. The Cummins engine brake can save fuel and save wear on the service brakes, but what's the best way to save fuel in braking? Here's the answer. Probably the best way to add to fuel economy in braking is to anticipate the traffic ahead of you and to try to avoid sudden stops and slowdowns. Give it a try.